I want to go back with both of you to, 20 now, more than 20 years ago for you, Ewan, when you first, when the massive stardom that came along with Star Wars hit you, because I realized it was only 3 years after Train Spotting. Like we knew you in that realm, and then suddenly, you play Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 1. Do you remember that as a fun time? Do you remember it as an incredibly pressurized time? Like when you look back on that, what was it like for you?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's not straightforward dealing with fame anyway, and of whatever sort of. And the younger you are, I think the harder it is because you know less about yourself. So I look back on it in two ways really. Partly it was an amazing time, like after post Train Spotting, it was the 90s Britain, Brit pop, Brit whatever. We were like what Oasis and Blur were to music, the cast of Train Spotting were to the movies, and it felt pretty good. It was an amazing time. And at the same time, I can look back on it and realize that I was personally dealing with a lot, like the idea of being recognized and losing privacy and anonymity is hard. It's not. Nobody tells you how to do it. There's no guidebook about that stuff, so it's hard. And at the same time, it's what you think you've always wanted. So it's difficult. It's a very complicated.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. So for Star Wars to happen round about then was just, for me, I was always so embarrassingly self-assured about my career and stuff. That for me at the time, Star Wars was like, yeah, this is the next step. I just felt like this is what's happening right now. And
logical.
Yeah. So I don't remember it being any more. I suppose I also didn't really look for it. I didn't go to. I was so driven to be doing other things too. A lot of the advice about Star Wars, I suppose, was I was just driven to do other things and as well. And so as soon as the first film was finished, I went off and made, I don't know how many movies between that and then when I met Hayden on our Episode 2, and then again. I made more movies between those two films. So I was sort of driven to keep going. I was always very busy. And so I missed a lot of the sort of hoopla about Star Wars when it came out, I think. I don't remember it particularly.
How did the hoopla hit you? Because I can remember very distinctly it started way before the movie came out. Like you were this really interesting actor from Canada. You'd done quite a few things. You've been working since you were a teenager. And I remember just the fact that you were going to be playing Anakin Skywalker was for a good year leading up to it. I know it would be at film festivals or you'd be promoting something else, but it was always, oh my gosh, he's Anakin Skywalker. And we hadn't even seen the movie yet.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. No, I mean, everything started to change just off of the announcement that I was going to be playing this role. And there was a lot of change that was happening in my life then. But I think just because of the fact that there was sort of all of this attention and I hadn't even done the film yet, the film hadn't even come out, that sort of allowed me to have some perspective on it and just sort of realize that I was a part of this thing that sort of, garnered all this attention. But yeah, I mean, it was a thrilling ride for me, and nothing but fond memories.
And I remember at some point I think the narrative always was, oh my gosh, you got hit by this, enormous fame with Star Wars and all of that, and then moved to a farm. And that was that a reaction to it, or was that just where you wanted to live?
I don't know. Depends on the day that you ask me, I guess. But no, my sister had actually moved out to the country before I did, and I was just enjoying sort of spending my time out there with her, and And I've always had a certain affection for that environment. It was just a matter of time.